Hi there. Been spending some money. Spending money I haven't got, but I'm spending budget that I do have. It's just I'm spent a lot of my budget for this year, a bit early on. But some of the stuff I do need, some of the stuff, bit of a, well, is it a luxury? No, sailing stuff's never luxurious. Anyway, get the boring stuff out of the way first. I've literally used my can of Deks Olje. This is the Deks Olje D1, which is like this, they call it saturator, it's oil. I've got the time, I must have a centimetre left in my original can, but it's gone a little bit gunky and it's not soaking in as well. So this, I remember when I got the new can last time and it soaks in so well. So we'll be using that on the boat to spruce her up, just before we get her on the water. Now I've got some more cam clips, always looking for these ones. These are the CL211 Mark II clam cleats. I mean, I use them everywhere on the boat. They're brilliant. They're all over the mirror as well. This little box, one of my favourite shops, Sea Screw. You want anything stainless steel, Sea Screw's the biz. So yeah, in here, the reason I've just opened this up while I'm talking to you was I got more of them as well. Unfortunately, to give you an idea of the price, these are exactly the same, but in the anodized here and the silver here. Exactly the same cleat though. Nearly £9 or £10.50 from Force 4. £5.80 from Sea Screw. The same thing. Yeah? So always check Sea Screw out. They're super cheap. Especially when it comes to anything stainless steel, metal or chandlery generally. They don't do everything like ropes and stuff, but really good for the heavier duty, this sort of metalwork stuff. The other thing, while we're talking about Sea Screw, I got some press studs. Now these are stainless steel press studs. I got 50 because I don't need 50, but I probably need 10 maybe. But the price went up so much. The price went down per piece so much when I got to 50 that it was kind of just worth buying 50 and being done with it. It cost me about 16 quid for all the parts for 50. And I got the little stainless steel size 5 screws that go with these. They say 1/2 inch. I got 3/4 because I just think they, for the spray cover, probably just need that little bit of extra anchoring. So, now we come on to the really interesting stuff. First, I'll show you these. So these are the clam cleat CL236AN. And these have got a rolling fair lead. And that is interesting. Let's see if we can take this off. Oh yeah, there we go. So let me get some string. I've got some line here to show you. This is just my 3mm polyester line. Normally, well, I can show you with one of these. Let's take that off as well because we're definitely going to use them at some stage. Normally, your fair lead's like this, and it goes in and it locks. It's supposed to lock. Okay, so like so. But if you want your fair lead to sort of come out like that, it just can be a bit awkward. These are designed so your fair lead can come from pretty much any angle. So you can have it like that, and it's gonna sort of, if you release that, it's gonna come out. So it just makes them really frictionless. And I've got a couple of places on the boat that I think I've got some really good places to use these. They do work well with this 3mm polyester line. They work also quite well with, this is like the general halyard and sheets that I use for my spinnaker. And this is 6mm. And that works really well. So they're really good this size. They work with quite a lot of different rope sizes as well. I quite like the clam cleats. I'm not going to lie. They are all over my boat. I love them. Love them. I use some real go-to cleats. Just getting that untangled from me. So next up are these. These are the CL255 clam cleat. Excuse me. And these are, I didn't even know these existed till I had a little look around. And these are going to solve another problem for me. So let's compare them to the racing cleat that I've shown you just now. Normally, when you have your string in these, if you look, the teeth are down there. So you do have to lift that up to release it. Now, if you want to control that from, say, you know, over there, you have to come over here, you have to release it, but then look, it can, as you're pulling it through, so that's now loose, as you're pulling it through, it will lock. So you release, and then it will go like that, and then all of a sudden it'll lock. So they can be really annoying. These have the teeth at the top. So if you go through the fair lead, you actually lock them. So look, now they're like that. But now, if you unlock those, once they're locked, they are not going to lock again. So they're really good for just, if you need to release something, you need to release them. And I'm thinking something to do with my Sail Traveller system. Originally, these were going to be sort of the ones that I was going to use for the continuous line. And I was maybe going to have them like back to back. So, something like this anyway. So, you know, and so I could, if I was pulling this way, this would get it. If it was pulling this way, I just lock that one and that would get it. It's like a kind of like a fixed dual cleat, isn't it? But, you know, I don't think that's going to come to fruition now. But I still think these are going to be really useful for putting maybe on the top of the centerboard box, you know, a nice emergency halyard cleat so I can release the halyard quickly. So if I get my halyard line again, they should fit with this. Yeah, they should fit. Yeah. So there we go. That's that. I don't know if you can see this, but that is locked. And if I need to just reach over, pull it down, and then I know it's not going to lock up. So interesting cleat they are. Glad I found them. And yeah, pleased with those. And they were quite cheap, those cleats were, actually. Right, now on to some interesting stuff. First thing is this. This is a dinghy. This is the... Oh, I can't remember which brand this was now. There was two. This is the Seashore Dinghy Jib Furler. I looked at the one I've got already, and this is almost the same size, but it's actually a completely sealed unit. So these are like people that have got them are like, oh, they just don't get tangled up. The line goes straight in here and it can't get tangled. So I think you'd have it that way, actually, like that. So this is going to be a really welcome addition to the boat. One thing with my current furler is it's got that quite cheap furler with the little prongs that come out. The line is constantly getting caught in those prongs, and I've tightened them up, I've loosened them up. It doesn't matter what I do, the line just gets tangled. And I've been tangled in some pretty leery spots. None more so scary than being actually on the Menai in a mid-tide and really floating off without, you know, any control over my jib. So I thought it was time to invest in that. The other furler I can use, hopefully I can use that with my flying jib. I don't have a metal cable for the flying jib at the moment, but I could make one, or I'm hoping it will maybe fold around itself. I don't know, that might be asking a bit much, but we can have a play with that. So, but that's the new furler, so I can't wait to get that fitted to the boat. Now, I've also got these. I can't remember if I've shown you these as well. So I got these from Supermarine. These are, they're called, well, that's called a fiddle. And I believe a fiddle is when you have multiple blocks, but they're in line that way. I've got my original MainSheet double block, which is side by side. Now, I hate the current MainSheet on the lugger, and I think it's it's really got in the way. Sometimes there's loads of reasons why I don't like it. First of all, it uses a lot of line, and it has that big W that goes from one side of the boat to this block, down to another block, up to this block, down to the other line. It gets in the way, it's unnecessarily complicated, and it doesn't really run very well. It also twists around really easily, it's hard to stow away, and I've just got fed up with it. It doesn't release when you need it to. I've just got fed up with it. The last purchase I'm going to show you today, let's just get rid of this, and that is this, which looks, I think it is exactly the same as my current MainSheet, but this is a bit thinner. I thought I got the wrong one when I got it out of the box, but this is 10mm. My other MainSheet's 12mm, but do you know what? It's bigger than 12mm, and it doesn't run very well. It wouldn't run through this. So this is spec'd, I think, up to 10 or 12mm. Let's have a quick look at that. Might tell you, yeah, 10mm, and this is the maximum rated size for this. But you do need something that not only will run through nicely, but when you're not needing it, it will feed back nicely. Now, even that's a bit tight, isn't it? I wonder if you can get a slightly bigger fair lead on the top of here. You might be able to. I might have a look into that, see if I can get something. But that's actually quite good. When you think you'll have a little bit of force on there, you know, yeah, that's going to be fine. The other one just wouldn't feed through at all. It won't feed through properly because it's got like melted end there. But there we go. So I've got a new MainSheet which will work with all of this as well. So there we go. Hopefully we'll get this on the boat next week, and we'll start to really get the boat sorted out. And I can give you a little demo of everything. But yes, things, little purchasing flurry there. And I just wanted to share that. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.